Good evening, students, and welcome to today's daily quiz presented to you by BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Now, before we start with the questions, here is a quick announcement. We have a free workshop for preparation strategy that will help you score good marks in Polity, both for prelims as well as mains. So, it will be held on 11th January at 7 pm only on the BYJU'S Exam Prep app. So, if you wish to understand the secrets behind getting amazing scores in one of the most important subjects, both for prelims and mains, download the app and register yourself for this free workshop. The registration link is also available in the video description. Now, let us start with our first question. How many of the following statements are correct with regards to National Science Day? 1. It is celebrated every year on 28th February. It commemorates the discovery of the Chandrasekhar limit. The theme for 2023 Science Day is Global Science for Global Well-being. So we have taken this question because Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh unveiled the theme of the National Science Day yesterday, and the theme is Global Science for Global Well-being. Now, the Science Day is being held in India since the year 1987. This day, it commemorates the day when the Raman effect was discovered by Dr. C.V. Raman. And this discovery gave Asia its first Nobel Prize in Science. Now, can you please tell us in the comments which year did Dr. C.V. Raman receive his Nobel Prize? Now, Raman effect deals with the inelastic scattering of light when it hits any matter. Now, before this, only elastic scattering of light was studied upon, known as Rayleigh scattering, which meant that the light only changes its path but retains all its energy when it hits any matter. However, Dr. C.V. Raman identified the inelastic scattering of light, where both energy and change in direction was experienced when light particles hit the matter. And this change in energy leads to a change in wavelength of the light. This change in wavelength is known as Raman effect. So if you see here, this statement is correct because we have seen in the article published that 28th February is the day when the National Science Day is celebrated since the year 1987. This is also a correct statement. The theme for 2023 is Global Science for Global Well-being, which is in sync with India's presidency of G20 and India's ability to become the voice of the Global South. This, however, is a wrong statement. The National Science Day commemorates the discovery of the Raman effect and not the Chandrasekhar limit. What is Chandrasekhar limit? It gives the classification of whether a star will become a white dwarf or a neutron star or a black hole after its death. Now, according to this, there is a limit, that is any star which has a weight of 1.44 times of sun or greater than that will become a neutron star or a black hole. Any star which is lower than this limit, it will become a white dwarf. So, only two statements are correct and the answer here is option B. Let us now come to our next question. Consider the following statements. Alzheimer's disease is a neurological disorder that causes dementia. Dementia is also another word for memory loss. It is a genetic disease. There is no drug available for the disease. So we have to point out which of the above statements are incorrect. Why have we taken this question? Because recently the Food and Drug Administration of USA granted a fast track approval to the second Alzheimer's drug. The first drug was approved in the year 2021. However, it was found that once the drug was released in market, it did not show any clinical improvements in the patients. So, Alzheimer's is a neurological disorder and it causes dementia. Usually, it takes place in the older age, but even the people who are in the younger age, they are also susceptible to this disease. So, this is a correct statement. This is a wrong statement because we have drugs available for the disease. The second statement it is also incorrect. Because it is not necessary that a person needs to have a family history in order to contract Alzheimer's. It can also be caused due to other reasons like the lifestyle that is being followed by that particular person. However, it is proven that a person who has immediate family members suffering from Alzheimer's is more susceptible to contracting this disease. So, what is the correct answer here? It is C. Now we move on to our third question. How many of the statements are correct regarding the Bureau of Indian Standards? It is a statutory body. It is responsible for certifying only the products that are manufactured in India. It is under the Ministry of Commerce. So we have taken this question because there was an article in the Indian Express which said that the BIS has issued the standards for USB Type-C chargers and digital TV receptacles. Now, these standards are aimed at providing common charging solutions for smartphones and for other electronic devices that are sold in the country. The European Union took the leadership in this regard and it urged all the mobile phone manufacturers and suppliers within the European Union to provide a common charger. Now, this, apart from being beneficial for the consumers, will also be beneficial for the environment. Why? Because there will be a reduction in the electronic and the plastic waste. So this is a very important steps that benefits both the consumers and the environment. Now BIS, it is a statutory body which was established under the Bureau of Indian Standards Act of 2016. Now, earlier we had a Bureau of Indian Standards Act of 1986, which was amended into the Bureau of Indian Standards Act of 2016. So, BIS has been a statutory body since then, but right now, if anyone asks that what is the act under which it is a statutory body, you have to state the correct year. So, this is a correct statement. Now, the Bureau of Indian Standards, it does certify all the products that are manufactured in India, but it is also responsible for certifying the products that are imported to the country for sale within India. So this is a wrong statement. This is also a wrong statement because the Bureau of Indian Standards, it falls under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So only one statement out of the three are correct and the correct option is A. What about the fourth question? Which of the following are correctly matched? Operation Ganga was held in the year 2022 to evacuate Indians from Ukraine. Operation Rahat was held in the year 2021 to evacuate Indian citizens from Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover. And third, Operation Safe Homecoming was undertaken in 2011 to evacuate the nationals stuck in Libya during the civil war, that is during the Arab Spring. So we have taken this question because yesterday in his address to the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention, PM Modi, while recognizing the achievements and the roles that the Indian diaspora plays in India's development, he also stated that the nation will protect its diaspora no matter what. And this has been proven right because in the past, India has taken multiple steps, be it steps to evacuate the people, be it steps to have economic relations with the other countries, tax treaties, in order to protect its diaspora that is living outside the country. So, which of these are correct? Operation Ganga, yes, it was held in 2022 to evacuate Indians, mainly the Indian students that were stuck in Ukraine. This is a wrong statement. Operation Rahat was conducted in the year 2015 to evacuate Indians from Yemen, specifically Yemen's capital, Sana'a, after Houthi rebels took over the capital. And in 2021, we did have an operation to evacuate Indian citizens from Afghanistan, and this was known as Operation Devi Shakti. This is also correct because yes, Operation Safe Homecoming was conducted in the year 2011 to evacuate the nationals stuck in Libya during the civil war. And apart from these, it is not just that India conducts these operations only when the other countries are affected by any kind of war, but also in case of natural disasters. A very good example here is Operation Maitri, which was undertaken after the 2015 earthquake in Nepal. So this operation focused both upon rescue and relief work and working in tandem with the Nepal government for the same, and also it helped in evacuation of Indians that were stuck in Nepal. So what is the correct answer here? It is D. Now we come to a previous year question which was asked in the year 2020. Indigo cultivation in India declined by the beginning of 20th century because peasant resistance to the oppressive conduct of planters, its unprofitability in the world market because of new inventions, national leaders' opposition to cultivation of indigo, and government control over the planters. Now, indigo cultivation is very important when it comes to national freedom movement of India, because it has been twice that the farmers and the leaders, they have risen against the indigo planters against their oppressive conduct towards the farmers. So can you in the comments state the two major uprisings that were held against the indigo planters by the farmers? Now, indigo is a very coveted dye all over the world, and it has been in use for the past 4,000 years. And India was one of the biggest producer of indigo, and that is why the term indigo actually comes from a Latin word indicum that means Indian. So even the British government tried to tap onto the benefits that indigo cultivation and the demand of Indian indigo has in the world market. However, by the 20th century, there was a development of synthetic dyes by Germany. Now these dyes, they were cheaper and easier to produce. So that is why they started dominating the market, and the indigo trade, it did not remain as profitable as it used to be. So the unprofitability of indigo trade in the world market because of new inventions was the cause of decline of indigo cultivation in India. So B is the correct answer. Now, though the indigo cultivation declined, it has not stopped even now. States like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, and Rajasthan see indigo cultivation. And lately, in the past few years, indigo production has gained a lot of interest because of many homegrown brands which want to use natural dyes for their products. Now we move on to the fact of the day. The fact of the day is related to Indian diaspora. So Indians, they have been dispersed all across the world, especially over the past 2 centuries. There have been 4 waves of Indian migration. In the first wave that took place back in the 19th century, many Indians, they agreed to become indentured labor in the British colonies in the East Pacific and the Caribbean islands in order to avoid the widespread poverty and famine that was ongoing in India. Also, once the slavery was abolished in USA, the demand for Indian labor increased. In the second, third, and fourth waves of migration, which took place in the 20th century, Indians moved to Singapore, Malaysia, and also to the Gulf region and Western Asia after the oil boom. So you can see in this map that Indians, they have been dispersed all across the world. Now, what all is included in Indian diaspora? We have the NRIs, which are citizens of India but are not residing in India. Then we have the PIOs. They refer to the foreign citizens except the citizens of Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, China, Iran, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, who at any time held an Indian passport, or either of their parents, grandparents, or great grandparents was born and permanently resided in India as defined under the Government of India Act of 1935. Apart from that, even the spouse of a citizen of India or a person of Indian origin gets this PIO status. However, in 2015, the Government of India decided to merge the PIOs with the OCIs, and it is necessary for the PIOs to get their OCI card maximum by December 2023. Then we have the third category, overseas citizens of India. And this category started in the year 2006. Now, OCI card is given to any foreign national who was eligible to become the citizen of India on 26 January 1950. It is also given to a foreign national who was a citizen of India on or at any time after 26 January 1950, or belong to a territory that became a part of India after 15th August 1947. Any minor children of such individual, except those who are citizens of Pakistan or Bangladesh, are also eligible for the OCI cards. Now, according to the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs, there are 4.7 crore Indians that are living outside India. And this makes India the country with the highest immigrant population. The biggest destination of Indian diaspora is United States, followed by UAE and Saudi Arabia. Now, the economic importance of the Indian diaspora comes with the fact that India alone, for the first time, the single country is on the track to receive more than 100 billion in yearly remittances in the year 2022, according to the latest World Bank Migration and Development Brief. Now, apart from this economic role, the diaspora is also responsible to act as advocacy groups in order to influence the policies of the other countries in favor of India. So, that is all about today's daily quiz. I hope you were able to understand all the concepts that were discussed today. So, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you do not miss any updates regarding the videos we post. So thank you very much and have a very good day.